In an old warehouse, an unknown man is tied to a bed with a sharp knife pointed at his eyes. However, the individual who arrested him prefers to use another method to attack him and starts turning a crank, which brings an iron crusher closer to his victim's head. The man despairs, but the creature doesn't care and just keeps turning the crank. The iron comes close to touching the victim's face, who cries out for mercy, but the criminal continues to turn it to the maximum, until the subject's head is completely destroyed. Far away, a young man called Adam is driving his car down the road, heading for a wedding. Suddenly, a masked man appears in the back seat and tries to attack him, but Adam immediately stops the car, elbows the man and runs out of the vehicle. As he leaves, he stumbles to the ground and the masked man appears, pointing a stiletto at the young man. However, instead of attacking him, the man removes his mask and reveals that he is Harley, a friend of Adam's who tried to play a joke on him. Annoyed by this, Adam threatens to leave Harley in the middle of the road, but before he can lock the car, his friend manages to get in through the passenger door. On the way, Harley mocks Adam for going to his ex-girlfriend's wedding, even after she took advantage of him while they were together. Adam tries to justify himself, but suddenly a hearse with darkened windows pulls up next to them and drives away. Despite this strange event, the two continue their journey and talk about the past. The conversation continues and Harley continues to make fun of his friend, including the fact that he writes down the mileage in his notebook, always carrying a pencil and a sharpener. However, the conversation is interrupted when they spot the body of a kitten in the middle of the road and Adam swerves to avoid hitting it. The strangest thing is that, after they pass, it is shown that the kitten was put there on purpose by an unknown person. If that wasn't strange enough, another bizarre situation occurs on the road when a monster truck appears behind Adam's car. Harley can't help himself and starts taunting the driver, but in response, he speeds up the huge truck and starts a chase on the highway. Adam hits the gas, but the monster truck is faster and starts ramming into the back of his car. The two friends panic and everything only gets worse when another car appears on the track and they are forced to swerve off the road. Luckily, the monster truck drives away, but the incident has left Adam's car defective and out of gas. Furious, the young man goes after Harley and the two start to fight, but again Adam is defeated and gives up the fight. After that, the two walk down the road to get more gas, only Adam fears that the guy in the monster truck really wanted to eliminate them. Harley thinks it's just his friend's paranoia and they leave the discussion until later, when they find a trailer in the middle of the countryside. When they get there, there's no one around and Harley takes the opportunity to get gas for the vehicle, but what neither of them realizes is that inside the trailer is a body without a head. In addition, in the middle of the field, a huge pentagram is drawn in the sand. Minutes later, the pair return with the fuel and head down the road, until they come across a beautiful girl who asks for a ride. As expected, Harley insists that they take her along, but Adam refuses because he doesn't want to be late for the wedding. Finally, the pair make another stop for gas and to go to the bathroom. Harley takes a nap in the car and Adam goes to do his business, but he is traumatized to see the filthiest toilet he has ever encountered in his life. Meanwhile, coincidentally or not, the same monster truck that chased them on the highway parks at the gas station. As Adam gets out, he sees the truck and hastily hides in the cabin, but the driver immediately gets in and tries to force the door so that he can get in. Adam doesn't see the guy, just his black boots through the gap in the box, and he gets more and more nervous. Finally, the driver gives up and goes to the other cabin, but there is a round hole in the wall between them. The young man tries to look through the opening and sees a man with a deformed face, a stitched mouth and a blind eye. This terrifying sight makes the young man run out of the bathroom and he finds Harley, who had woken up and was on top of the monster truck. Not content with making fun of the driver on the road, Harley even does his business in the cab of the truck, just to provoke him. Adam sends his friend back before the stalker sees them and they set off in a hurry for the highway. Once again, the two argue over Harley's actions, but he tries to calm his friend down, saying that the driver didn't see them at the gas station. However, when he looks at the clown doll smashed on the car's antenna, he finally recognizes that he has gone too far and that the driver knows who they are. Later, the two go to an inn for the night and find out on TV about the body and the pentagram around the trailer. This news only makes Adam more nervous, until the two finally fall asleep from the fatigue of the long day. Minutes later, the young man wakes up to feel something strange in his hand. He goes to see what it is and to his horror, he realizes that he was touching the body of the cat that was on the road. He throws the poor animal away and the cat ends up on top of Harley, who was dreaming of a romantic encounter. The problem is that in the dream, he was about to kiss the girl, but when he woke up, he realized he was kissing the lifeless body of the cat. The two friends leave the hotel in despair, without even having time to change their clothes, and set off on the road again. More strange things happen and suddenly the car's tire goes flat in the middle of the road. Adam needs to change it as soon as possible, but Harley doesn't have the heart to get out of the car after what happened. However, he soon changes his mind when someone gets up from the passenger seat, leaving them both very frightened. However, the girl who was in the seat was the same girl who had hitchhiked on the road, called Sarah. The two friends decide to take her along and she falls asleep on the way. The next morning, Harley says he thinks Sarah is very pretty and wants to be with her. But Adam thinks this is inappropriate and the two argue again. Because of this, Adam loses control on the road, which causes the car to sway from side to side. Then Sarah wakes up and scolds them both for their immature attitude. She had heard the whole conversation and threatens to leave and get another ride, but the two apologize and insist that she come back. The girl accepts their apology and says she liked them, but to put an end to the arguments, she tests which of them is the best kisser. After the test, she chooses Adam and so the trio continue their journey. Minutes later, they stop to rest and Adam tries to get closer to Sarah, while Harley sleeps in the car. The girl shows that she likes him and says that she did the kiss test to teach Harley a lesson, as he was always putting his friend down. The girl decides to teach him another lesson and while Harley is asleep, she takes a pen and writes an offensive word right in the middle of his forehead. After this prank, the three of them stop off at a bar and enjoy a few drinks, except for Adam, who orders a glass of milk. During the conversation, the young man notices something strange among the guys in the bar. All of them have had their arm or leg cut off and he fears that this has something to do with the guy in the monster truck. Shortly afterwards, a guy comes over to their table and asks Sarah for a dance. The girl refuses, but the guy is insistent, so Adam tries to be brave in front of her and tells him to leave. But what he gets for it is an elbow in the chest and he falls to the ground, all sore. Sarah doesn't like this one bit and kicks him right in the crotch. After this mess, the three of them go to sleep in an inn, with Harley going to the room alone, while Adam and Sarah go to another. There, the girl helps Adam tend to his wound and says she was impressed by his courage in the bar. The young man reveals that, despite going to his ex's wedding, he has grown very fond of Sarah. The feeling is reciprocated and the two finally have a romantic moment, without Harley to get in the way. Sometime later, the couple enjoy the rest of the evening, until they hear desperate screams coming from outside. Sarah runs to see what's going on, followed by Adam and Harley. When they get there, the three of them find the same guy who got into a fight in the bar, screaming and dragging himself on the ground. Just then, the monster truck appears again and its huge wheels run over the guy's legs, destroying them. Not content with doing that, the driver turns the truck around and heads straight for the victim, but this time he drives the wheels over his head. After this scene of horror, the trio flees the scene and the next morning, they report everything to the local authorities. However, when the police get there, they don't find the victim's body, let alone the criminal. The sheriff is furious that the three were joking and tells them to get out of there before he arrests them for it. The group continues along the road, but Adam takes a wrong turn and they end up in the middle of a forest. While he's looking at the map, one of the guys from the bar appears at the window and warns them not to stop there. In addition, he shows that on the hood of the car, a message has been written in blood that says, "You are next." He suspects that the person who did this was the same one who cut off his arm and that he is known as a demon in the neighborhood because of his deformed face. The trio soon understand that he's talking about the guy in the monster truck and set off far into the forest. They finally reach a town, but the car is running out of gas and on the way, they see several bizarre scarecrows in front of the houses. Even so, the only way is forward and they stop at an old cottage facing a lake. There, the three of them grab a bite to eat and while Sarah goes to get their order, Harley takes the opportunity to apologize for the way he acted towards Adam. His friend accepts his apology and the girl soon brings their food to the table. However, when Adam takes his first bite, he feels something strange in the food, like a huge strand of hair. After removing it from his mouth, he realizes that the dish he ordered is actually made from human parts and everyone rushes back to the car. Adam speeds as fast as he can to get out of town, but Harley is startled to see the body of the victim from the night before lying next to him in the back seat. Adam stops the car and everyone is shocked, but everything gets worse when, seconds later, the creature appears in its monster truck. Adam speeds down the road, but the monster truck is getting closer and closer to catching up with him. Adam continues to concentrate on the bends so as not to overturn the car. To Harley's misfortune, every time his friend swerves the car, he is thrown into the sinister body next to him. The chase continues and the truck starts crashing into the back of Adam's car, which can't go any faster. The villain continues to push them, until the group's car swerves onto another road. The friends follow this road and arrive at an abandoned farm, but the car stops working. Adam tries his best to start it, only for the monster truck to appear next to him and prepare to ram the three youngsters. Sarah panics and insists that Adam start the car now, but to no avail. Seeing that there is no more time, the girl runs out of the vehicle, followed by Adam, who tells Harley to do the same. However, Harley is trapped by the heavy body over him and can't get out. Then the monster truck jumps over the car and crushes it completely. Adam rushes to his friend's aid and luckily, the corpse crumples on him. With Sarah's help, he tries to pull him out, but the crushed roof of the car prevents him from getting out. At the same time, the creature turns its truck around and heads for the car to finish the job. Sarah quickly uses as much force as she can to push the body off Harley so that he can get out of the car more easily. After much effort, she and Adam manage to pull their friend away from the vehicle, seconds before it is crushed by the monster truck. There's no time to celebrate, as the creature drives its truck towards them. The three run towards a hill and manage to climb it, leaving the truck behind. After that, they set off into a forest and believe they are safe, but soon after, the villain appears and throws Harley against a tree, leaving him unconscious. He then advances towards the couple and Adam asks Sarah to run away. Seeing his friend apparently lifeless, Adam becomes enraged and tries to confront the criminal, but he doesn't have enough strength and is forced to flee. Just then, Sarah runs into the forest, but is captured by the villain. Adam goes after her and finds the creature on a farm, with Sarah's screams being heard all over the place. The young man gathers up what courage he has left, takes a shovel he finds on the site and enters one of the houses, looking for the girl. Inside, he sees several pentagrams drawn on the wall and a destroyed body on the bed. Suddenly, the body opens its eyes and starts screaming for its brother Bob, who is none other than the creature. Adam runs away and enters a room, where he finally finds Sarah, who was tied to a chair. He helps her out of there, but the villain hears her screams and runs towards the couple. Adam quickly looks for another way out, but all the windows are blocked. The young man asks Sarah to give him the shovel so he can try to open them, but the girl laughs macabrely and hits Adam on the head. Minutes later, he wakes up on an iron bed, with Sarah turning the crank of the crusher against Adam's head. Afterwards, the destroyed body, named Fred, explains the whole story. He says that Bob and Sarah are his siblings and that one day Bob accidentally ran over him with his truck. The accident caused Bob to lose control of the car and he ended up hitting a tree and being thrown through the windshield. After the accident, Sarah sewed Bob's face shut, leaving him deformed, while Fred was revived by dark magic. What's more, in order to rebuild his body, they needed to remove pieces of people who were still alive in order to place them in Fred's destroyed body. However, Sarah has learned a new magic and will transfer Fred's soul into Adam's body, which is why she has lured the young man into this trap. The girl then prepares to complete the ritual, tearing off Adam's clothes and then picking up a huge knife. The young man tries to discreetly reach for the penknife in his pocket, but Sarah realizes what he's doing and throws it away. Finally, the villain prepared to deliver the final blow, but Adam still had another card up his sleeve. In his other hand was his pointer and, with the help of the blade, he managed to cut the rope that bound his hand. He then uses it to deliver a sharp blow to Sarah's neck, which begins to bleed rapidly. Bob rushes to help her, but the girl perishes from her wounds, making the creature furious. He advances to attack the young man, but he manages to break free and, armed with a courage he has never felt before, he takes his pencil and sticks it in Bob's eye. Even wounded, the villain tries to attack Adam and points his knife at him. At the same time, Fred manages to get out of bed, grabs a scalpel and sets out to finish Adam off. Seeing himself surrounded by the two villains, the young man surprises them with a headbutt to Bob, which drives the pencil even deeper into his eye, and then uses his knife to hit Fred and cut him in half. With the two brothers wounded, Adam takes the opportunity to escape, but Bob locks the doors and swallows the key. The villain can't see, but continues to chase Adam, while Fred, who is still alive, grabs Adam's leg and knocks him to the ground. The young man gets up, but he falls on his nose and starts to bleed. Bob can sense his presence through the blood, but Adam decides to use this to his advantage and creates a trail for Bob to follow. He leads him towards the exit, where there is a huge knife stuck in the door. Adam puts as much blood as possible on the knife to attract Bob, who heads straight for the trail to attack the young man. However, he is hit by the knife in the door and, soon afterwards, Adam picks up his pocket knife, attacking the villain and finishing him off with one last blow. Thanks to this, he manages to escape from the house and tries to recover from his injuries. However, Bob is still alive and comes after him, armed with his knife. Adam is about to be finished off by Bob, but next to him comes the monster truck, which runs over the man. Adam is afraid it's another monster, but from inside the truck emerges Harley, who had survived the attack in the forest. Now, with the monster truck in hand, Adam takes control of the vehicle and uses it to crush Bob during the night. The next morning, the danger has passed and Harley congratulates Adam on having become a braver person. Adam repays him by saying that Harley helped him with this and decides not to go to his ex-girlfriend's wedding anymore. So, with their insane new car, Adam and Harley hit the road once again, unaware that Bob and Fred are still alive and ready to take revenge on the two friends. So what did you think of this movie? Leave it in the comments below. And if you liked the video, like and subscribe for more movie recaps. See you next time.